gap in between the humerus and the radius, right where the lateral epicondylopathy occurs, okay? You stand inside the patient's forearm, all right? And what you do is you don't want the arm fully extended. You want it in that slightly flexed position, okay? And this just becomes a very fast and quick varus test. It's almost like taking your varus stress test and turning it into a thrust technique. Now, the line of movement is this way. So what's important for me to be on is I want to be on the joint line itself. The first thing I need to do is I'm assessing, I'm bending and flexing the elbow so I get a good sense of that's where the joint's bending. That's where I need my hand to be. The other thing I like to do is put my forearm right in the line of action, and that was one of those things we talked about, is making sure your forearms are in the line of action. So if I'm going to be moving him directly this way, I don't want my elbow and my forearm pointing that way. I want it pointing that way. So that's what I'm going to do next, is make sure that my elbow is in line. And for a person, this should be over within a few seconds. So it's harder, you know, it's harder. They stiffen up more. And so then what I do is I ask to take the person, can you take a deep breath in, let it all the way out, try to get them a little bit more relaxation. I tension up, so now I'm putting a little bit of pressure through the region, getting to that barrier, and then it's just a quick thrust. That's it. High velocity, low amplitude. What you want to take up the slack. In a lot of these techniques, we're going to teach you the wrist one's a little bit different, but these ones you do. You want to take up all that tissue slack so you get to that end range. And then the thrust is staying in that range and just doing a very quick pulse. Now, things you want to, you know if you're making a mistake is if you do it, the elbow turns and bends. That's no good. You obviously lost the line of action. Okay, we'll just do one more time. Take a deep breath in and let it out. As he's doing that, I'm taking up the slack, and once he gets to the end, I just give it the quick pulse. And the idea is I'm creating just a very quick separation between the radius and the humerus, stimulating those type 1, type 2 mechanical